So basically, what I was saying about the Corona shit that Mark or somebody got was worked through the digital twin to negotiate with India or Africa, and the deal was he was gonna find a way to allow their people to come and enter into the United States without consent. I mean, without registering with the what is it? The United States Border Patrol or whatever, and that's what it alarmed and caused the Corona epidemic. And what they were going to do is that this organization that was summoned, or not summoned, but imported or came here or arrived or became active, something like that. I don't know. Under a deployment service was this is it's an organization, right? And this consists of individuals who are either in the union or within the intelligence community, and so that means that they also harness global trade IDs or digital twins, and so they are also like working through the unparalleled network. With that being said, what was I getting at? Some of these individuals may have been like born with a digital twin. Maybe it's part of their tribe, or I don't know, in India or Africa. I don't know how that goes. Nobody has told me anything. I'm just creating. So my thing is, he used my IP, and so his attempt was to try to like get me to pass away, and to get these individuals who are professional, maybe professional, or who can help in getting rid of the body, and nobody would notice that he passed away. Basically, he put a hit on me using their entity. So they imported this entity, and that's what caused the Corona epidemic. Again, so they use this, that they have this different, no. Mark, I think he's the one that did it, linked my IP address, or adapted their union or their operable server, and so, or linked to their cloud. Yeah. And so what that does is that it's not only involuntary and unexpected from my part, it's against my will, but he did it with the intentions to have me become active and enabled, no, adapted, not me, my IP extended with the to the extended, so that there could be interface with this what is it, unparalleled network. I keep saying that a lot. I don't know. Okay, so what that does is that not only does the global ID or intrinsic ID that he assigns to my IP, not only does it expand your I guess your reality using this extended reality application, but it also expands a military method of attack, like for cyber weapons, right? It creates a bigger extension. It expands it, and so now I have been, like, basically, if you can imagine someone, and I noted that whenever I'm like in front of street signs, like my head, it looks like someone's like has a flashlight behind my head, and so there's only the shadow, and you see the light reflecting behind me, as if someone had a flashlight behind me. And it happens like whenever I'm looking at street signs, or whenever I'm passing by street signs. And so that lets me makes me feel like it relates to that global telco cloud or that global tel link. What I'm saying isn't illegal to say because I read it on websites, and I also read that if it's secret or it's top secret, it'll say classified information on the top. Now, I have not been trained, but Jason should not have activated any communications. He's got this, I think this magenta, T-Mobile magenta thing relates to the magnets that I feel like I have symptoms sometimes, and I have like muscle spasms, like what is it? Increased heart. It's anyway. That's a different subject, and that's from probably the hacked medical records. But let's return back to. So now I feel like the same. Not only while I am under Mark's, what is it? Deployed. I don't know if it's a hemisphere or a global some encapsulation basically, and it's like what's his name? Kelly told me. He said that there's a movie where this dude is in a biodome and everybody can see inside. They can see what he's doing. They know what he's doing, but he's not able to see he's not able to see who it is, or he's oblivious. And that's how I feel basically what's going on now. Sometimes whenever I'm walking there on next to wooden fences, you can see like this kind of invisible, like I'm not gonna say nucleus, this invisible, like not what is it? Some type of, I don't know if it's air, what kind of matter it is. What is it? It's not liquid. It's like a filter or a substance, but it's like you can see it like around among the on the walls as I'm walking. It'll like basically like be hovering on it, not hovering but like going on it. And so I'm guessing it's a big like giant entity, not giant entity, but it's a big entity. And what I'm getting at is that whoever did that is dirty, and they did it with intentions on committing a murder or assassination. And I think that, I can recover from it. My IP can recover from it because it's all like logged in. It's all created on a server. So like my IP or PIIP is logged into a special access program, and it's an experimental server. And so this is how this veterans that relate to Jason Pennington have been hitting me, is that the server that I am logged into is also logged into a map, a digital map, global map or whatever. And so that map is like basically a map server, and that's how they are able to use the geofencing strategies around my friend's house, my mom, me, and wherever. And so because you can use like different enhancements or environmental settings, geographical, whatever you do on that map, several things I guess, with parameters and polygons and confidential areas. But it will create responses or reactive barriers, parameters, and it's mostly Indian stores. So this is why I'm thinking it's Indian stores. Whenever I walk inside of an Indian store, as soon as I walk in, like I feel like someone's like, it constricts my arteries and the blood flow to my brain. It shortens. So anyways, I started having like heavy palpitations, and my vision goes black. It feels like as if somebody just choked my neck or tried putting me to sleep, and like let me go, and like you can feel like the pulse, the waves, and tingling and shit. And so Mark's computer project or cloud computing project, he works for Altura Communications as a field engineer. I heard that he said that he can create a command chain where there's a lot of like cops that shoot at an innocent person and try and make it seem like I'm most wanted. And another thing is that there's a lot of fucking like several stacks, and I have no access to this. Basically, I just like you have Google HoloLens. It's the same concept, except like well, you do a 180 and like on, it's an augmented like digital or augmented reality, and so that's basically the same shit that's going on now. But like, if somebody they're trying to like execute someone that's guilty, uh, they what that entity thing they're able to use it to get leverage. I mean to do a lot of things like so one of those things is you can because it's integrated with your productive workflow. It can also process or register um, that creative suggestion um, from your, I guess, product, and so it will create this manifest thing, or it will compel it. It can compel it to manifest this, um, represent this product. And so what it does, it's a risk basically. Like you're rolling the dice, or you're like you're just vulnerable basically, and your business is vulnerable. I don't know why I'm talking business terms, but just your creative workflow. And anyways, what I'm getting at is that that's why there's like you have business carriers. I think yeah, telecom carriers. And so, like mine's the one that's signed to me, to my IP, or that special access program telecom, PI, personal information shit, is vulnerable. And there's on my IP there are several collaborators who will come close to my IP address and intentionally begin making statements that suggest that your mom was amputated, or basically like me says his mom was amputated by Esteban, or she's being like handled or being roughed, and she's being like she got killed, she's dead, and he killed his mom, or he raped Anne Boleyn. Like they constantly keep saying this, that he constantly keeps saying that I raped Anne Boleyn, or I raped a little girl, and that Michelle's trying to kill me, and that and that's Mark's doing. And that's why I call them the mimics. Um, so what's going on is that the he creates that risk or that potential of manifesting that scenario, and what implements it or enhances it is that whenever he activated that or adapted my information to their union, some black ladies, foreign black ladies, you could tell they were like from Africa or like different language, and they started following me around, calling me Rosicrucians, and then like spreading rumors about me using a radio. And that radio basically like was transmitting like voice data, but they used like applications like Listener, LISTNR. And so with that you can mimic voices and stuff. So they would create scenarios by impersonating like voices like from my mom or my friends, and make it sound like they're dying or being tortured and shit. And they started creating this jurisdiction, like writing down shit, like basically a record started building. And so they've been building it since now for about almost 2 years. And so all that record history is built, but basically on a parallel. Like it's not happening, but they're creating their own like storyline, and they're all like augmenting to it. But it's all about ridicule, defamation, shit that says that I masturbate in public, or I am a pedophile, I killed my mom, I sacrificed my son, that I'm creating conflict between the Muslims and Freemasons, and that I mixed Illuminati with the Church of Satan, and all this other shit. It's irrational. It's irrational. First of all, I don't dig in any like of those organizations or conspiracy. Uh, what is I don't know. My thing is, there is also, to note, an antenna that is assigned, and I would like to suggest a better method, or to suggest a convergence, so that I don't have to like end up being put to death or shorted or shut down when we all see that it's all just a server. See what I'm saying? It's all just an IP. It's not me, it's not the person, it's the IP address. That, see what I'm saying? So I don't understand why would Ivan have to pass away. Another thing is that Mr. Esteban, who claims to be married to my mom, but I really believe that he did like some forced marriage thing, or that he's impersonating my mom, which he is, because he sent me a picture where he's looking, trying to look like my mom. So he claims that his intention is that with this encapsulated, or this biodome hemisphere global sphere thing, is like placing me under a foreign or extraterrestrial space, extraterritorial space, some bullshit like that. And what I'm that he wants to like have me illegally deported. This whole time, I've been having someone take over all of my accounts, my identities, my personal data, my cell phone accounts, and I've been hearing that it's Esteban, and that he's already deported my mom or some bullshit like that, and that they're trying to deport me, and that he is the law, and that he's allowed to bypass the United States jurisdiction. But what I'm looking at is that he adapted an IVR, integrated voice recognition, to my IP, or this IP and its workflow process. I keep saying workflow. It's processing, whatever process, data process. What I'm getting at is that it's also active on a cloud server. So while I'm logged into that, not me, I mean my IP, he sends voice commands, and imagine a window. He has a window, it's reflected like on his viewing. He's using a 3D map. Imagine a 3D map. Okay, so it mimics replicates a physical. So basically, it will replicate me. Whatever I'm doing, it's doing. And so that digital person, or that digital map, is basically you, but it's like a fold. And a bot is controlled by a bot, like a cyber bot or a command bot. Anyways, it has the power to use the digital environment to control, like basically your everything in your environment. I guess he can train it to control, because it's operated. It's training and repetitive technology to know how to react when certain behaviors, or whenever it recognizes certain behaviors. Basically, if he doesn't like me scratching my armpit, every time that I scratch my armpit, he gets people to come around and start like getting mad at me, or bitching at me, or getting, you know what I'm saying? And so he does that enough times. Every time that I scratch my underarm, they won't need to come around anymore. I just scratch my underarm, and it'll know to manifest that setting, that scenario. It's the same concept. Let's see. So that's active, and so what that does is that because he's controlling through an advanced communication system, or using this automated information export. What is it? Service or server communications. I don't know. So what I'm getting at, it is once it processes through my IP or through my IP. It is um, recognized by the bot servers or the command. I mean the yeah the those the bot system or whatever, um, and it will obey his command. It's called a command and control, CNC. And so basically he's a bot master controlling an adapted um, bot um, through an IVR, and that's basically connected to my IP or PIIP. And because of the server, the window, you imagine like a flip of your reality, kind of. Basically it's like augmented reality. Basically it's just basically what it is. And AT&T has that, and several other they have SIM cards and shit. I noticed that because I have to research. I don't want him to kill me. What the fuck? So he's been that's how he's able to get away with shit. And basically, if I make a report and if I call a police officer or someone, he can just convey his bot, train his bot to convey his intent through the server to reach, which is picked up by a bot that he has also assigned, mail bot, assigned to my IP, and it'll process that feedback from that bot to bot and respond. Like basically, even though other people don't see it, I see it happening because it is I'm the one, my IP that's logged into that IP, or assigned to an IP that's logged into that. See what I'm saying? I don't know how sensitive it is. I don't deserve to get killed or to die or to get shot because I'm only reporting. I don't have any training one, even though I've been requesting it. I am reporting something very serious that's like damaging national security, and which is the right thing to do. And I'm also not liable because he knows better than to be exposing those classified information to other people who don't have a clearance. And so what I suggest is that just like Esteban violated my Fourth Amendment, my jurisdiction, which is within the United States, he keeps conveying, or I keep receiving voice data that says, you're not from the United States. You don't have any rights. Tú no tienes derechos. Constantly, and it's in Spanish. Look, I don't talk to anybody in Spanish. None of my friends speak Spanish. I don't talk to anybody in Spanish at all. So it becomes a bug, and it pretty much assists in filtering like who the individuals are that are targeting me, and it's a Spanish group of people. And it's evident that he likes tampering with time servers and other settings like that. So he's not supposed to be exposing classified information or other hybrid technologies. Now, just like he trespassed en passé, then the United States, I'm a citizen and I deserve my rights, my birth rights. Why am I gonna let this guy who illegally crossed over here under fraudulent means to take over my identity and to basically, like, here's another thing that I hate. Basically, I'm under an unlawful restraint. He claims to be the law, and he also has like an entity, like, or a drone floating on top of me, where he says that it's a shotgun or it's something that's gonna cause me to die or pass away, and he's gonna replace me. So we need to go over that because he's enhancing everybody's IP. Let's see. We should be allowed to do the same thing to him. Let us adapt an automated information export server or system, or what I call a telecom management or telecom monitoring server, TMS, on Mr. Esteban's IP address, so that we can research, just like he claims that he has researched me, my IP, and my mom, the same way. And let's also integrate that, or integrate a cloud environment with his IP and personal information, just like he has done with me without my consent, and begin monitoring and recording his intent process. And that way we can see and record the scenarios and the manifest command chains and the way they work, and how he uses his tactic to evade from law enforcement, because he has a recognition within the cloud servers. And this is why I have been requesting to change my name legally from Erik Ivan Rivera to another name, and I'm trying to change it to Lucio, Luciiio, and the last name Fellowstar, Fellowstar. But because there's several haters, and especially from Mobile Bell Bonds, who have been saying that they're gonna kill me if I register under that name, and that they're not gonna allow me to like do what I want, and that I have to be like something like that because of the name. No, it's more like you don't create that jealousy. You just go ahead and go change your name too. It'll get rid of that. So it's illegal to block my intentions, my messages, or my attempts to report this to officers or courts. Another thing is that he has an alternator, and whenever I was with Dougie and Mr. Rob, they may not have done it like intentionally, but when I was living with them, I started experiencing an expansion. Basically, like I expanded. I was standing here, and I seen like several tracers develop, expand of all the items, of every objects that I seen that was around me, that were around me. So there's like several tracers, but it's like digital or like meta verse, something like that. And so over time, those digital layers, like it's like as if in concept of being pushed or pulled to this digital secondary station or points, digital environment. And so now everything around me, like basically is digital, is under a digital and accessible server. So that's how he's violating and cheating the government, cheating the United States, and manipulating people to believe as he wants them to believe. Basically, everyone is a dislodged instrument that becomes subject, that is subject to manipulation, or subject to be subject to the embodiment of maybe military command chains or global supply chains. And so because I am active, like maybe within a military reserve or some shit, I don't know. I don't know, like whenever I eat or drink, and like whenever whenever I eat or sleep, or whenever I lay down, and I don't know what I was gonna say. Not lay down. Just consumers or intakes. I could be eating something that I don't know, like what it is or what it contains, and that's how he's planning on like killing me or progressing me to a death. Not to mention that there's this heavy radiations of microwave, of this infrared or telco cloud, telecom cloud, teleco, I don't know, telecom cloud. Um, oh my god. So it's being concealed under several behavioral like monitoring uh, departments, like no government departments, and that's how he does it. One is the Council on Recovery. LCDC coach Mike, he tried getting me to sign an assessment form that said El Borrador on there. Like it was handwritten in Spanish. So that's how you know these people speak Spanish. Somebody convinced him to write El Borrador on one of them. As he wanted me to like not see that and to go ahead and sign quick. And basically I signed to a contract that said El Borrador. So that's the one that I did not sign. So whenever I asked Coach Mike, what was it? He said, I don't know. He said, I thought you would know. That's all he said. Another thing is that you have the SAP, SAP, and that's where you will find that there are time bombs that can be created by Navy. There are cancel bots. It enables impersonations, imposturing, and all kinds of other crimes, I guess, or threats that Jason, and these individuals have been engaged in on that server or service, using that SAP by logging me into that. It's not a secret. It's on Facebook. You can go and discover SAP and then hit like, I guess. I don't know. But another thing is that it's like I also found on my Ben Taub at the Harris Health during a cyber stalking from A Mobile Bail Bonds, a medical record that had false data entered into it, and it showed a doctor's comment where it says degenerative cerebral cortex, which has never been disclosed to me by any doctors. But you have to remember that the IP address or the PI server that I am logged into is working through a mirrored reality or a logical replication of it. Another thing is that so that gives this entity or watcher or bot master leverage, and he can basically use this command and control the manifest code, so he can get them to do whatever he wants. Another thing is that he's using this intrinsic identity or this intrinsic ID. Basically, I have like on my IP, it employs dielectrics, and maybe that's from his Broadcom Incorporated. See, all these things that he's doing, he needs to pay for that, dude, because I can't let him get away with killing me or murdering me. He needs to learn his fucking lesson. You don't do that shit to innocent people, bro. You don't do that. I don't care who you are. Another thing, everything that I'm saying is not being recorded on a single IP or on a single ground, on a stable ground, because the server or the IP keeps alternating, it keeps changing. So remember that I'm logged into a digital environment. So along with that, it's a server window that I'm logged into. And so if he keeps alternating, I basically concept my whole environment, and it's like it also alternates time servers. It affects it, is what I'm saying. And so I'm not stable on a single IP. It's alternating across parallels while his collaborators and teams are building a story using their diaries that says that I did something bad, or I killed somebody, or that he did that, and that we're gonna get away with murdering him and passing him away. So only their story is the only one that holds, and mine doesn't, because nobody has heard of it. Nobody's listened to what I'm saying, because it's not processing on a single storage file. So another suggestion, because I am the individual who is being experimented or is active in this matrix quality, on my IP address, What I'm suggest is that uh, we geofence the person who has access to the controller, or deploy a cell site simulator or a pen register, one of those, because it will pick up uh, the communications and the data that transmissions from his devices, electronics. With that being said, I mean, not with that being that will give us a let us know what his activities are like, or help us like restore my IP. And that's to be implemented by a geofence around their addresses, so we can see the telecom and all the activities that's around there. You have to remember that there's also individuals who use the 3D maps to intrinsically adapt a secondary digital ply, basically metaverse metaply over them. But you can use that 3D map coordinate system to build or create a source code that floats on top of your avatar, on top of his head, which will shield him from the digital satellite, the satellite's eye, basically. So it's because it's intrinsic and emitting from your main head component, or your main head, your lead component. It will also emit like a shield over to stop the satellite from viewing or knowing what his position is. Another thing is that Alex, Manny's partner, he had got my attention one day, and he was like, "Hey, look at this!" And he opened up the laptop. He looked at the I was looking at the laptop, and he showed me the webcam. He went behind a curtain screen, and he became invisible. Like, he was invisible behind that screen. And I don't know if he did it like to taunt, or to like boast, or to rub it in my face that how he was gonna shoot at me and that I'm not gonna be able to see him. And so another thing is that at the Wheelhouse on Helgra Park, a lot of people, several guys who were wearing like bright green or color green, like showed up, and they got me to leave the Wheelhouse. Like, basically like pressured me to applying pressure, like caused me to leave, and they started following me. And I'm guessing that that's how he started this movie. I think it was through Gary or someone, because they pulled me out. And I think that the green screen, that's why they were wearing the green shirts. But I did not know that it was going to be about me dying or me getting killed. Another thing is that it has nothing to do with a distress sign or a password, because that password that was given to me by Gary, who is a member of that organization, who gave it to me. Another thing is that I have not released it to anybody, and this was in 2017. We're in 2024. All right, November. Another thing is that that's not the reason why this is happening. The reason why this is happening starts in 2016. So I didn't receive any instructions with that password until 2017. My email, ivanspider22@gmail.com. If you can request records from Google, it will show you the logs, the IP logs, and you'll be able to see and show proof. And you'll see proof and obtain evidence of who the individuals or the parties were who were accessing and hacking into my emails. That's how they began exposing my selfies. That's how the Warehouse began receiving those. Also, the second email is iam69taz@gmail.com. It will also show you the same thing. The third email is 0solostar0@gmail.com. That's the one. The last one. Last time I was close to accessing that was through Dougie's and what's his name, Roy's laptop. I found my email password saved to that 0solostar0@gmail.com. That's the one I need, because that's the one that will show you who was accessing and the information in regards to these like Mexican individuals who were following me, and began beating at the bottom of my feet under the floorboard, screaming at me, telling me stop being gay, like no seas joto, o sea, quítate esos calzones, o no, no seas, no estés jugando con tu